Japanese teenager Kazuma Satou is a self-isolating otaku who leaves home to purchase a video game. Returning from a 5-hour trip, he notices a classmate about to be killed by a truck. Kazuma pushes her aside, sacrificing himself. He wakes before the goddess Aqua, laughing. She confirms he's dead and she tells him the truck was a tractor and wasn't going to harm his classmate at all. The true cause of his shameful death, fear of mistaking a slow tractor for a truck. Goddess Aqua offers Kazuma a choice. He can enter heaven or get reincarnated into a parallel world. He'll keep his body and memories for the sake of defeating the Devil King. She grants him any perk he can dream up: magic power, a cursed weapon, or lethal skill. Kazuma pulls out the Chad move and chooses the goddess herself. A second goddess manifests to replace Aqua, who protests, not believing she qualifies as a perk. The new goddess states if Kazuma defeats the Devil King, he'll receive any wish. Once this happens, Aqua will return home. They manifest in Axel, the town of beginnings. Kazuma's excitement shows. He decides their best course of action is to find a guild. At the Adventurers Guild they attempt to register, but cannot without money. Aqua begs a priest for the registration fee, and receives their guild cards which catalog their skills and levels. Kazuma is bottom ranked, but Aqua is a goddess and easily obtains a high rank of archpriest. Kazuma and Aqua adopt the new routine of doing labor for money while sleeping in a stable. They aim to save money for adventuring gear, but decide to embark on their first quest. Kazuma admits life as a new adventurer isn't ideal, comparing himself to insignificant part-timers. Aqua sleeps in on the day of their first kill quest. Kazuma has doubts as to her usefulness. Their first kill quest: kill 5 giant toads eating livestock. One toad eats the distracted Aqua, who's embarrassed when saved by Kazuma. In a rage, she attacks another toad, needing Kazuma to save her again. At the guild they admit they're too weak for the quest and hang a recruitment poster. Later that day, Megumin, an arch-wizard, responds to the poster. After learning of her explosion magic, Kazuma and Aqua let her join their party, but Megumin's explosion spell requires preparation time. She targets one of 2 toads, while Aqua, still angry, charges the toad and again gets eaten. Fully charged, Megumin unleashes her ultimate explosion. The spell is too much for her and drains her of all energy. Being defenseless, a toad eats her. Kazuma saves them both and completes the quest. Megumin confesses she can only cast her spell once per day, but she still guilts Kazuma into taking her in. He finally realizes he's stuck in a new world with 2 useless women. Later, Kazuma's at the guild stressing about dividing the quest reward between 3 people. He's approached by a female knight named Darkness, who inquires about the recruitment poster. Darkness introduces herself as a crusader. She confesses due to clumsiness her attacks always miss. Not wanting another useless adventurer, Kazuma refuses her. The next day, Megumin explains to Kazuma that with a demonstration and skill points, a new skill can be learned by any adventurer. Darkness again begs entry into the party. Again, Kazuma refuses. Her friend Chris offers to teach Kazuma some easy thieving skills, and he accepts. Chris steals Kazuma's coin pouch to demonstrate the steal skill. She challenges him to use what he learned and steal the pouch back from her. He accepts the challenge and steals back her panties. Your boy is now satisfied with his new skill and they return to the guild, where Aqua and Megumin learn of Darkness' desire to join them. They urge Kazuma to accept her. He briefs them on his goal to confront the Demon King. Suddenly, an emergency quest is announced for all adventurers. Assembling at the front gate, adventurers prepare for flying cabbages. Once ripened, they swarm like locusts to escape the harvest. Darkness hopes to impress Kazuma with this opportunity. She fails to hit any cabbages, but bravely uses her own body to shield wounded adventurers. Megumin casts her explosion spell, defeating the cabbage swarm. Together, the newly formed party celebrates their victory and newest member, Darkness, after upgrading their gear and paying off debt with their rewards from cabbage collecting. Kazuma and the party seek new quests. The weaker monsters have disappeared after the top leader of the Devil King's army called Dullahan came to the area, depleting the normal quantity of quests. Axel Village must wait for a high-level adventurer from the capital to confront Dullahan. Kazuma joins Megumin for daily magic training at a nearby abandoned castle. Enraged, Dullahan lurks outside Axel's gate. He is an armored headless horseman who carries his head in his hands. All adventurers assemble outside the gate. They hear Dullahan demand to know who fired explosion magic at his home. After a tense moment in the crowd, Megumin steps forward, lying to Dullahan that her repeated spells were a strategy to lure him out of the castle. Annoyed with her persistence, Dullahan aims a death curse at her, but Darkness throws herself in the curse's path. Insisting Darkness will die in 7 days, Dullahan offers a challenge. If Megumin can reach him within his castle, he'll lift the curse. Megumin prepares to march to the castle with Kazuma's help, when Aqua shocks them by lifting the curse with a single spell. As a goddess, she has no problem purifying the undead and their spells. Desperate for money, Aqua begs Kazuma to accept any quest. They agree on one to purify a lake, forcing the brutal alligators living there to abandon it. Aqua's purification spell takes half a day to purify a lake of that size, forcing her to beg Kazuma to defend her. Instead of fighting the alligators, Kazuma strategizes to place Aqua in an alligator cage. After hours without conflict, the alligators attack, tossing the cage about with Aqua in it. Panicking, Aqua casts purification frantically. She purifies the lake within 7 hours and forces the predators to leave. Her cage, being rattled too hard by the alligators, leaves Aqua traumatized. Weeping, she refuses to leave the cage. She forces them to return to town with her looking miserable in the busted cage. They're met by someone from Aqua's past. Mitsurugi Kyoya, like Kazuma, chose reincarnation in this world. His chosen perk is a cursed sword only he may wield named Graham. He rips open Aqua's cage and ridicules Kazuma for dragging goddess Aqua with him onto this world. Kyoya grows impatient and challenges Kazuma to a duel. The winner takes Aqua as a party member. Kazuma accepts and rushes Kyoya, using the steel skill to rob him of Graham and knocking him unconscious. Intending to sell the sword, Kazuma leaves Kyoya lying in the street. The next day, Kyoya begs Kazuma to return his sword to him. Kazuma admits to pawning it, and Kyoya frantically rushes out to find it. The guild announces Dullahan has returned. The undead army leader calls for Kazuma, upset that no one has come to challenge him at his castle. Upset that Megumin continues using his castle as a target to train her explosion spell. Dullahan challenges the group while demanding an explanation why they didn't seek revenge for Darkness, whom he thinks died of his death curse. Seeing her alive in the crowd enrages him further. He proclaims his true name, Verdia, cursing them all. His threat to annihilate the whole town angers Aqua, and her insults forces him to attack. She casts her undead throne from his horse. Verdia writhes in pain. Surprised by how effective her magic is, he summons an army of undead, who chase Aqua away. She lures them back to Verdia, and Megumin casts explosion, eradicating the undead soldiers. Amused, Verdia attacks, tossing his head into the air to gaze at the battlefield. He cuts through adventurers with ease until Darkness challenges him head-on. Kazuma attempts to trap him with ice magic, and observes that Verdia's weakness is water. Aqua casts Scared Create Water, and the flood weakens Verdia while damaging the town. Kazuma finds an opening and steals the undead commander's head. He kicks it away like a football, while Aqua casts Scared Turn Undead, eliminating their foe in blinding light. The fellow adventurers praise Kazuma. Speaking of old heroic legends, the guild rewards Kazuma's party with 300 million Eris, but they must pay 340 million back in damages for Aqua's sacred water spell. Kazuma pledges to kill the Devil King and escape debt and this world forever. Why is Kazuma back in the afterlife, stuck in debt and freezing while living out of the stable in winter? A desperate Kazuma and Aqua browse available quests. Kazuma chooses a kill quest targeting snow sprites, passing on the quest to hunt a mobile fortress called the Destroyer. Snow sprites prove easy prey for the party. Just as Kazuma wonders why adventurers avoid snow sprites, he gets his answer: the Winter Shogun, leader of the sprites and a high bounty foe. Darkness attacks, and the Shogun breaks her sword in one move. Aqua urges the party to ask forgiveness, stating the Winter Shogun will show mercy on them. She releases the sprites she has captured, but Kazuma doesn't drop his weapon in time. Shogun slashes at him and he falls dead again. Kazuma wakes in a place identical to where he met Aqua. The goddess Eris appears before Kazuma, offering a new path, promising to reincarnate him back to Japan in a comfortable life. He accepts. Just before his reincarnation, he wishes for one more adventure with his party. Aqua's voice echoes through the afterlife chamber and interrupts Eris' spell. By casting Recover, she revives Kazuma back to her. Kazuma snaps awake, feeling embarrassed in snowy plains. Surrounded by the girls, Megumin retells how he was beheaded. They agree to abandon the quest and return to the guild empty-handed. Relaxing at the guild, Aqua reveals she kept a snow sprite. She defends it from Kazuma, declaring she already named it, and plans to make a refrigerator out of him. Kazuma distracts himself by thinking about the goddess Eris. He regrets not returning to Japan when he sees that Aqua ordered a feast with the last of their money. The hardship of winter continues to torment Aqua and Kazuma. Attempting to fuel a fire, he catches her throwing his only tracksuit from Japan onto the flames. He reaches a low point and decides to take action. Kazuma leads Aqua to Wiz, a lick, known as the No-Life King, who was once their target on a quest, but they spared her while cleansing a graveyard. They were moved by her devotion to guide lost souls to heaven, but Aqua dislikes her and is displeased to see her running a successful shop. Kazuma asks Wiz to teach him a skill of the undead, arguing it'd benefit the party. Wiz reveals herself as one of 8 leaders of the Devil King's army, sharing rank with the departed Verdia. Aqua tackles Wiz, desiring to exorcise her. Kazuma insists on hearing Wiz's story. Wiz tells them the path to the Devil King opens when all 8 of his army's leaders are killed. She teaches Kazuma the skill Drain Touch, which absorbs an opponent's health and magic. An acquaintance of Wiz's rushes into her shop. He offers Kazuma's party a job: exorcise evil spirits in a nearby villa and keep the villa as a reward. Not taking the quest seriously, they move in and trust Aqua to exorcise the spirits. That night, Kazuma wakes surrounded by porcelain dolls. In a panic, he rushes into Aqua's room. He finds Megumin there, who also witnessed the flying dolls. After a brief moment, the two are chased out of the room by the dolls. As their fear gets the better of them, they plan to run, but Aqua exorcises all the spirits. Warm and comfortable together in their new home, Kazuma's party feels high-spirited after finally escaping life in the stables. An emergency is sounded. Destroyer, the mobile fortress, is approaching the town. The citizens are told to evacuate and adventurers are summoned to fight the destroyer as it closes in. The party heads to the guild ready to fight. Together they plan for Aqua to break Destroyer's barrier and give Megumin an opening to cast Explosion. Wiz arrives offering to join in the fight. The guild is familiar with her reputation and is grateful she arrives. Meanwhile, Darkness stands alone outside the whole town. Kazuma asks why and she reveals her real name, Dustiness Ford La Latina. The Dustiness family governs the area and Darkness feels responsible for the town's safety. The earth shakes around them as the mobile fortress arrives. It is a massive mechanical fortress and is shaped like a spider. From the top of the gatehouse, Aqua fires off a massive sacred break spell, lighting up the sky, landing a direct hit. With an extra effort, her spell pierces the destroyer's barrier. Megumin is anxious until Kazuma fires her up. Then Wiz and Megumin cast Explosion together. Their joint attack forces the destroyer to crash in front of Darkness. Everyone believes the day is over, until the destroyer roars to life, announcing the self-destruct sequence is activated. Darkness charges into the fortress, fighting to stop the self-destruction. The whole town rallies to join Darkness and charge in with her. Kazuma, Aqua, Megumin, and Wiz meet outside the mobile fortress. Wiz suggests finding the control device to deactivate the self-destruction, but Megumin is too weak from casting Explosion. She stays behind while the others break into the destroyer. Kazuma, Aqua, and Wiz find the bomb in a material called coronadite. Wiz requires energy from Kazuma to cast the teleport spell and send the bomb far away. She warns that she'll have trouble controlling where the coronadite is sent. Kazuma accepts responsibility. She absorbs his power and teleports the bomb out of range. Without the coronadite, the mobile fortress begins to melt down, threatening to engulf the town in flames. Megumin finally arrives, and the party rallies together. Kazuma transfers Aqua's energy using the Drain Touch skill, fueling Megumin with power. She uses the goddess energy and casts her largest explosion yet, completely obliterating the mobile fortress. When news of knights arriving from capital reaches Kazuma, he thinks they came to honor him and his party. Instead, it is to report the bomb he had Wiz teleport destroyed Overlord Aldarp's mansion. He's now asked to return to the capital as a criminal. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.